Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and that you had a great 4th of July holiday. I just wanted to check in as we've moved from Module 3 to Module 4. I enjoyed reading your blog posts about Francisco Madero and the shortcomings of his leadership. Um, I posted comments and follow up questions to most of you on Medium. I do like using Medium for the reason that we can do longer blog posts and also have responses right there in the post. So if you haven't read those yet, please do. Let me know if you have any questions. If you haven't yet posted to the blog, completed that assignment, please do that as soon as you can. Let me know if you're having any issues getting going with Medium. I am here to help with all of those things. Something came to mind as I was reading our blog posts yesterday. One of my first graduate level classes was a seminar on the history of the Mexican Revolution with Linda Hall, who became my dissertation advisor at UNM. And she wrote a biography of Obregón. That was her first book, and then she wrote about the economics and politics of banks and oil, especially during the Obregón years, the kind of end of the 19 teens, as Obregón came to power in Mexico City. And something that she wrote to me on one of my first essays for that class, I was trying to conceive of a project that would compare Francisco Madero and Sun Yat-sen, who was a leading figure in Chinese Revolution in 1911. And I referred to Madero as a figurehead. And I just still remember the comment she said, kind of came back with, well, that's kind of not the right word to use because he actually did assert leadership in all these ways, despite his shortcomings. And I bring that up just to say it's really easy to see the downfall, the shortcomings of Madero. It's easy to see him as somewhat naive, and I think in some ways he was. Again, being an hacendado and believing so strongly that democracy essentially for the elites, that would solve Mexico's problems. He truly believed that. He thought a return to the Constitution of 1857 and truly living its principles and enforcing it, that would be the way forward. But as we've all seen and as we commented on, so many other forces and needs and issues were brought to the fore over the course of the revolution that ousted Porfirio Diaz. You couldn't put the genie back in the bottle, as it were. And so, Madero faced a very difficult situation. I think he could have done things differently. And that's something I asked as a follow-up question, just for discussion, just to think about, what might he have done to balance the various interests and factions in Mexican politics when he became president. And, given his own background and his own unwillingness to enact land reform on one hand, and his own unwillingness to bring peasant revolutionaries into politics, I think those things made it almost impossible for him, because if he's not going to even entertain those ideas, that's what a big part of the problem for him was. So anyway, enough about that. This week we're turning to what happened once Huerta was ousted. So after Madero and Pino Suarez were assassinated under the Ley Fuga, that kind of vaguely, it's just a cover for assassination, essentially saying, oh, they were trying to flee and then they get shot in the back. That was what happened to President Madero and his vice president. After that happened and Victoriano Huerta came to power, all of the other factions, revolutionary factions, united pretty uneasy alliances just with the sole purpose of trying to oust Huerta. And they had the backing of the Woodrow Wilson administration in the United States at different moments in time. That would also kind of drive wedges between them, though, when Wilson recognized Carranza as the de facto president once Huerta was out of power. Villa had a precipitous decline for a variety of reasons that we'll see, and ended up attacking Columbus, New Mexico. And that's something that I've studied and that my new book is largely about. So I'm excited for this part of the class. I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this era of civil war in the Mexican Revolution, but also thinking about, in large part, how everyday folks were impacted. Those who didn't fight in the revolution, we'll see some of that in the Wasserman readings this module. And also, how could a progressive constitution like the Constitution of 1917 come out of all of this chaos, seeming chaos? So lots to unpack, and as we continue forward, please let me know if you have any questions or if you need any help as we go, and I look forward to joining in our discussion soon.